Hello everyone, and thank you so much for giving me such a good response. I got a lot of good reviews that encourages me to make other new courses. Also, I got your suggestions that were very useful to improve my course. Your feedback is very important for us. So, please keep on giving your valuable feedback and suggestions. Today in this lecture, we will not analyze a single stock. Instead, we will analyze the current position of 4 stocks that I have used in my course. First of all, we will analyze the chart of ICICI Bank and Infosys, about which we discussed in 8th module naming technical indicators. On 21st June 2017, IBM was trading at price $8.91 and I told that we are getting a negative divergence here and the stock is moving near the upper resistance line of its range. So, it may fall to the extent of trend line. Then only we can buy the stock. This was our last position of the chart. Now we will analyze the current position of this chart. This is IBM chart and this was our last position. Now we will analyze the portion after that date. So I will zoom in the chart. Now see, this was the point where IBM was trading and this was the level 8.91. This was the candle. By watching carefully, we can say that this was the high range of the stock and the stock was moving near its upper resistance line and near its high. This was the all-time high of the stock and we are getting a negative divergence here. Also we can see we are getting a head and shoulder pattern here, short time head and shoulder pattern, and this was the neckline of this head and shoulder pattern. This was the neckline, and after the breakout, stock is falling to the extent of trend line. Also, it achieves the head and shoulder target level. This was the head and shoulder length and this was the target, so it achieves the head and shoulder target. Then it crosses above the trend line and it rises again. So this was our ultimate buying position. This was not the buying position and this was our buying position. Now the stock is again moving near this resistance lines and we are getting a negative divergence here. Again we are getting a negative divergence. This is the negative divergence. So we will not buy here. Again, when it will touch the lower trend line, that is the support line, we can buy this stock. Our second stock was Infosys. It was in short term uptrend and we could buy the stock because it was touching the trend line, lower trend line. So it was our buying position. Now we will analyze the current position of this chart. It was 20th June 2017. This was our last chart and this was our position 20th June, and here we could buy the stock because it was touching the trend line, support line, and after that the stock is moving in a uptrend, short term uptrend. After touching this level, this was the resistance level 15.94, so we'll draw a horizontal line and this is the support line. If we zoom out the chart, you can see now the stock is moving in a range. This is the range of the stock. The stock is moving in these two lines. This is the upper line, resistance line, and this is the support line. The stock is moving in a range. This was the short-term uptrend. Now, after touching this resistance line, the stock is touching the support line and it is going in an uptrend and near its resistance line. If we draw the short-term trend line, we can see the stock is in short-term uptrend. But as it is near its resistance line, we will not buy the stock. It can come back to the extent of trend line, or after touching this line, it can come back to the support line. You can see here RSI, as the stock is in range, RSI is not going in oversold range and overbought range. So we can make use of RSI in this range. Whenever RSI is touching or facing resistance, this 70 line, we can sell the stock. And when RSI is touching this 30 level, we can buy the stock. In my first live analysis of Apple Incorporation on 20th August, I said not to buy the stock at that level because it was an in-between trade and there was also a negative divergence on RSI. This was our last chart. This was the chart and this was the in-between position as the stock is moving near its resistance line. This was the resistance line. Now we will analyze the current position of the chart. This is Apple Incorporation chart and this was our last position on 21st of August. Let me zoom in the chart and now we will analyze the situation of the chart. This was our point and we were here at $157.12. Now see, after touching the $165 level, the stock fall down to the extent of trend line. This was the trend line and this is moving average, 100 period moving average. The stock retraced up to the trend line and this moving average. If we calculate the fall, the price has made a fall of 9.54%. Now price is struggling at this trend line or moving average after getting a breakout here. You can see we are getting a breakout. Here also we are getting a breakout. Now this is our buying position. And we could also buy here with the stop loss at the low of this green candle. So this was our potential entry point for the stock and we can see now it is rising in an uptrend. Now it is moving near its range line. This was a upper line, resistance line, and also stock is gaining a negative divergence here. So our next buying position will be when price will come down to the extent of trend line or this moving average. In my second live analysis on 13th September, I analyzed the chart of Microsoft Corporation and it was trading at 74.68 level. It is also gaining a negative divergence as price was rising and it was also a in-between trade. I suggested to wait for the retracement. When price will come to the extent of trend line, this will be our buying position. This was our last chart and we were here on 13th September. Now you can easily see this was our resistance level. The prices are going to touch this resistance level but unable to cross this resistance level and they are going back to this trend line to the extent of retracement. Now this was our potential buying point. We can buy the stock here with a stop loss at the end of this candle and stock is moving in an uptrend. Again, this is the in-between position. Price may come down to the extent of retracement, this trend line, then we can buy the stock. If we add Bollinger Band to this chart, then we can see this is the Bollinger Band. Now the upper line of Bollinger Band and lower line of Bollinger Band are coming close. So the stock might move in a range between these two lines and then it may come to the extent of this trend line. That will be our potential buying point. Thanks for watching the lecture.